So hello and welcome to what is pretty much the end of this build. There'll probably be one more video after this just tying up all the loose ends, but in this video the motors get hooked up, all the wiring is completed, and we'll actually see these wheels moving under their own steam. We'll get the bonnet back from being painted, tying up a few more loose ends, and I am so excited to finally see this moving under its own steam and actually beginning to look like a miniature Land Rover. So without any further ado, let's get stuck into the Toylander 1. So really starting this video off where I left it last time, and these are, well, here's a tumble dryer as well, central heating, and these are the number plates. So plastic primer, and I've black coated them. I just want the raised areas to be in silver, and I was toying with how this is going to work, and my plan is to spray a bit of silver onto this. There's a nice flat surface and nearly dip it onto it. It might work, might not, but they'll be easily overcoated or oversprayed. And seeing as I managed to mess up the paint yet again in the bonnet, sure, why not? Let's give it a go. So as you can see, I just sprayed some silver onto this piece of kitchen roll on a flat surface, and actually some of the solvent is wicked through onto the magazine. That's okay. And how cool is that? It worked. Just got paint in the raised areas, not on the background. The Land Rover badges and the number plates are actually perfect, and there's actually a little bit of texture to that paint, which I think looks really cool. Completely unintended, but absolutely delighted with that actually. Top result. Turns out I can paint. Good job. Okie doke, so starting off with more deliveries from Toylander themselves, mostly this time. So a box of electrics. In here we have a throttle pedal. Ordered a horn, some other bits and pieces, some special cables with fancy electric bits on them that I don't really understand. Fuse, and some switches, which is actually doubled up in what I've bought before, but that's okay. And this very expensive little thing, which is the speed controller box, and that was about £200. 200, maybe 300, 200. I ordered it a couple of weeks ago, so this is a very expensive little thing, but I think it's the key to making all the motors and the throttle pedal and all work very nicely. So that was delivered. And then I bought 2 batteries, and I'll open this up in a bit of time. Bought those off eBay because they were significantly better value than from Toylander themselves. I got the 2 batteries as per the specification in the manual for the same price as 1 battery would be from Toylander themselves. So that's my hint. And I'm paying for this all myself. I hasten to add, I'm not being subsidised or paid by Toylander, so I'm happy to advise you where to get the parts cheaper. So let's get on and make some progress with this. Alright, so according to the wiring diagram, this is roughly where this speed controller box is going to sit, in between the 2 motors, and leaving enough space here for the safety cutout, which is going to be drilled through there. It's just sitting in place at the minute, and it's lifted up in these little buttons just to allow a bit of air circulation underneath. I suppose electrics do get warm, and I certainly don't want to damage that box given the price of it, plus these motors. Thinking about it again, I think this was about 300, the 2 motors were 400, so that's £700 worth of electronics underneath my children's backside. So first of all, I don't want any heat going to the children, but also don't want to damage the electrics bits. So worthwhile doing this all very properly and carefully. And that's also why the vents are in here and the motor closing panel, which will come across here too. So it's all starting to come together and make a bit of sense now. So just moving on a step forward, I have the control box sitting. I have these wires in provisionally here. I've also got this emergency stop switch, which is nicely put in there. That's a 22mm hole, I just bored that through. And that's where the kill switch is going to be. Nice and neat, secured with 2 screws on the inside. I have the red and black wires fed through underneath. I have the power control put through as well. The pedal here is connected onto the loom through this chock box, and I have wires coming up to the dashboard. So I have a helper down in the garage today, so cleared a bit of space for the batteries. I haven't got a mounting frame yet on the bonnet, still waiting for the paint to dry, but we're definitely going to make some progress in this video. Might even get to see those wheels move under their own steam, but let's get the pedals screwed in, and what else can we do? I think we should just wire everything up loosely, check all the connections are working, and then start screwing things down and go from there. Can't wait. Moving on quite a bit quicker, I have 2 batteries in, and I'll take you through these and just really busting to get this going actually. 2 batteries in, short link wire, and I have all the wiring secured here, fuse. I have these sitting, that is the ignition key and the direction switch, and now I'm just going to plug it into this, and I think we'll be ready to give it a test run. Surprisingly easy actually, given my history with electrics. So now for the moment of truth, 100% first trial run, just wired up and the ignition's on, so let's hit the gas pedal, which is down here, and see what happens. Oh hey, look at that. Oh my word, how cool is that? It works, 100%. Starts, stops. I'm just trying it in reverse now. Oh my goodness, I'm so delighted. I can't believe it's actually working. Brilliant. So really, dashboard paint is drying, bonnet paint is drying, and I'll be able to screw everything together in the right place, tidy it up, and then we'll be pretty much finished, which I can hardly believe I'm saying. The other thing I need to wire up is a horn and the lights. And those are little plugs for the lights, just got them off eBay. Those are for a Land Rover Defender reversing light. They're only about £5 or £6 each, but it just allows me to use a little, if the camera will focus, a little bullet connector into there. I can't believe that actually works. Let's try that in reverse. I don't really want those touching because I'm trying not to short circuit the thing. So this is in reverse and it goes the other way. Now I think this wheel, the driver's side wheel is spinning a little bit faster, but I presume that's what the motor protection box thing is for, so they don't necessarily spin exactly the same speed. But I'm absolutely gobsmacked that it's worked. Something I built worked first time, and it's electrical. All the electric cables also need fastened down and tidied up and generally made safe. And I've also ordered the bars that the batteries will mount onto from Toylander. Yeah, I probably could have ordered them off eBay, but at this stage I just want to see the thing running, which I have, and you have too. And the first test run has been successful. So, oh hey! So batteries back out again, and these 2 silver bars here are to hold the batteries in, and this sort of strap will go over the top of them like that. So I'm just going to lift those back in, and that's them secured, and then I can start working out how to lay out this wiring so it's safely secured out of the way, and also need to leave enough rope that I can wire in the horn, which is going to go in here somewhere, and the 2 headlights as well. So I want to get that wiring secured on the underside of the vehicle as well. I'm just going to use little wiring clips, and I'll show you what I mean with those in a little second, but this is really exciting now. The bonnet paint is down at my mum and dad's. They have quite a warmer kitchen and a warmer house than they do, so the paint is drying well on their Aga, which is an oil-fired cooker for those of you who don't know. So let's see how we get on. Also included in another delivery from Toylander themselves is this charger. Now, I deliberated over buying a charger off Toylander themselves for quite some time, mainly because this was very expensive for what it is. It is a 12/24 volt charger, and because obviously I have 2 12 volt batteries in there, and we'll talk about the bonnet in a second, I obviously need a 24 volt charger. And this one came with a little extension, which means you don't have to always lift the bonnet, which is a bit of a hassle whenever the spare tire is on here. So I tried to find one for a reasonable price, but couldn't, so I bought Toylander's one. I think it was £140, which is an awful lot of money for a charger, especially these days. I know how much it costs direct from the manufacturer, but it is what it is, so it's just going to make my life easier, and I really just want to see this project finished now. So unfortunately I wasn't able to save costs in this, but I did try. Moving over to the bonnet, Hooray, it's back. As I said, it was down at my mum and dad's. They have an oil-fired cooker, so it's on all the time, so their kitchen is nice and warm and low humidity. I don't know what it is about this particular paint, this sort of single stage paint, but it just takes so long to dry thoroughly. But thankfully there's been no reactions. I removed the hinges and I've painted them separately, and they're sitting down here. So they are going to need riveted back on. Meant by painting them separately, I didn't need to mask around them, didn't run the risk of screwing the paint up for a third time. So I'm absolutely delighted actually with the finish. Yes, it's a bit orange peely, but I'd say with a good heavy cut, with some T-cut. I know there's loads of paint on there because I don't know how many coats, probably about 7 or 8 coats. With a good heavy cut of T-cut, that's really going to come up quite well, nice and shiny, I think. So, need to put the spare wheel buffers on, the 4, put the spare wheel mount in the middle, put the 2 hinges on, screw that onto the bulkhead, and then I also have the, whoop, let's not trip over it, where are they now? My stack of spare parts. Ah yes. These little sort of tie down tabs, those are going to go on. And originally I was toying with the idea of not putting them on, but I think they'll look quite cool, so they're going to go on as well. Just need to work out where to drill the holes. So the other thing that got painted is the dashboard. Now, and also in aiming to get this finished for around Easter time, and this has been shot on the 10th of March today, I cheated and bought a second one. That was the first one, and the paint was messed up, as you can see, nasty big cracks. I couldn't use paint stripper on the plastic because it was going to eat the plastic and make the plastic go all nasty, so I have bought this. And I still have, I think the second one was about £12, so I've bought another one and I've painted it. And I still have the stickers, which I will show you now, here. And they just go on pretty much as they are there, okay? The key one, I'm going to drill out the middle of the, whenever it's stuck, I'm going to drill through the plastic and put the key, ignition key, where the key is. Does that make sense? And then I just need to add a button for a horn and a switch for some lights and a direction switch as well. So there's going to be quite a lot going on this little dashboard, but it's going to be pretty cool. Not sure what to do with the Toylander and the GB stickers just yet, but I'm sure they won't go to waste. So that's next. So quite a lot down the line, having originally started on this, but I think it looks pretty good. I'm also going to need to drill 4 holes to hold it on to the bulkhead, which is, this is where it's going to go here. So all the parts are coming together. I'm really close to finishing. I had thought I might get it finished in this video, but I don't think I will. I just need to tidy up the wiring. I don't know how I'm going to do this really nicely, but I just want it secure so that when in use, I don't get any fractured joints or anything working loose. Screw down the motor control box, motor control panel, put the seat back in. Need to cut the mat, put the dashboard on, add the switches, and then have all the wiring ordered for the headlights and horn too. And I think that's it. So apologies, I did think I was going to get it finished in this video, but I'm not. So there will be another installment. I think we're up to, what, 25, 26, 27 installments. Thanks very much for sticking with me. The next one I will hopefully be the last, and then I'll do a full overview build, and we'll take it somewhere nice and do a nice video of it all driving. So I think it looks so cool with those number plates on, don't you? Anyway, let's wind this video up and make some time to get the thing actually finished. So thanks very much for watching. I really hope you enjoy this, and those of you who have been started with me through this series throughout, thank you very much for following it. As I said, there'll probably be one more video just getting it all finished before the last final reveal of the finished project. I've really enjoyed this, I've learned a lot, and I hope you've enjoyed it too. So you can follow me over on Instagram, continue to get me here, and on Facebook too. There's a little bit on Twitter. I'd really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button and give me a like, and I reply to all my comments, positive or negative too. So I'll wind the video up there, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheerio!